Hello, YouTube Nation. This is Tony Sheree. Uh, I shot a partial video that I'm going to be putting up on my YouTube channel here. It's going to be a partial walkthrough at the Kansas City International Airport. I didn't get done with it. I actually had to stop it. So here is the story why I had to stop it. It was the most interesting uh, travel days I have actually had in my whole entire life, but it worked out all right. So everything was good in the end, but it was interesting and bumpy as hell just to get what we needed to do done. So I'm going to go ahead and start the whole entire story the night before, okay? Uh, I get my email confirmation from Air Canada for our flights the next day to actually confirm our stuff so we have early check-in. So I got all my brother's information. I got all my information. We all entered it all in, and I went to bed at night thinking, okay, everything's okay. Nothing to worry about. So we get up the next day. I get this email from Air Canada saying my flight has been canceled from Air Canada and they have been handed off officially to United. We're like, okay, so I saw the times. It's about an hour difference, from the time we're supposed to get to London versus the time we were supposed to get there in Air Canada. So I'm all right with that because I'm like, okay, we'll deal with that. That's no big deal. That's only 1 hour difference. So brother and I, we decided we are going to go through our day. We didn't have to be at the airport till about 6 o'clock that night. So we decided to go through our day and take care of this and that and everything else that we needed to take care of. So what happened was we get to the airport, checked in, and whenever I checked in, I had everything all done. The luggage was all taken care of from United. They had the luggage tags for us and everything else like that. So we're all good. So my brother and I decided we're going to split up once we got out of the high security deal for the airport and actually into the place where the gates are. And what happened was he goes off and does this thing for about a half hour. So I'm like, okay, we still got 2.5 hours yet before we need to take off. I was actually wanted to shoot a full walkthrough video of the Kansas City International Airport, the new one. No big deal. So what happened was he hands off the deal to watch the he hands off the watch for the check for the carry-on baggage, I should say, and I go off to actually shoot the video for the walkthrough deal. And I got about 3/4 to about 7/8 of it all the way done. Then I get this message from my brother as not a message, but actually a phone call from my brother. So I'm like, I better pick up on this. So I stopped my videotaping of that. And of course, he had the message saying that our flights have been canceled altogether due to bad weather in Chicago. And we're just like, oh, okay, what the hell do we do? So I tried getting hold of Air Canada for some help on this because they're the people that actually showed me the flight to begin with. And they were no help because they had done already told me, they said, well, we already passed off the flight to another airline, so we can't do anything to help you. You're actually in their purview now. You're their care. So I went to the back to the gate where we actually checked our luggage, and when they tried to figure out something there, and they said, well, we get you at 9:40 the next day. And I'm just like, well, 9:40 the next day, that kind of ruins our whole entire everything about it. Well, not really ruins it, but just really kind of dishevels a lot of our vacation stuff. So I was a little bit hot under the collar, but I didn't fire off on anybody because I realized it was a pretty tenuous situation. So I get back to the gate where my brother is, and a lot of people are cycling through, and they finally we walked up there. Something happened to where we were actually talking to the gate agent there, right at the gate. She goes, well, okay, we're going to do something. It ain't exactly pretty, but we'll get you to where you need to go, but it's not going to be pretty. I said, okay, what do you have in mind? Well, we're going to fly you at 8 o'clock to Chicago, And from there, your luggage will be diverted to another plane, and you're going to be going to Frankfurt, Germany. And then from Frankfurt, Germany, you're going to go ahead and go to London. It's going to take about 4 o'clock in the afternoon till we get to London. I'm like, well, that's not quite still so bad. So we decided we're going to do that. So we fly up to Chicago. Weather started clearing in Chicago about 2 hours, about an hour out from our destination time. So things were looking up there. So we get to Chicago, and they tell us exactly what gate we're supposed to be at. Well, it's going to be a full flight. So we didn't have really too much problems in Chicago. Thank God. We got on a flight to Frankfurt, Germany. From Frankfurt, Germany to London. Okay, that's the plan. Okay, so we get on the plane and we actually start out for Frankfurt, and we actually land at Frankfurt. I think it was like 2:50 p.m. and our next flight's supposed to actually take off from Frankfurt at 3. Well, for one thing, they just, when you fly into Frankfurt, most of your flights will actually have you get off on the tarmac. They take you to, they actually have a bus there, and you actually take a bus to the terminal. They got a big deal where they actually dump off all the. So from there, there's nobody to tell us where we're supposed to go for our connecting flight. So we're just like, well, we don't know what the hell to do. So we're in this drop off area. So we decided we're going to freaking go somewhere. So we decided to walk, and we kept walking and kept walking. Uh, there was no clear signage in this airport. A lot of people go, well, it's a German airport. I'm going like, yeah, but you would think there would be some German stuff actually. And we could actually translate German with our cell phones because that's what Google does, you know. But no, there was no signage whatsoever in this airport to tell us, you know, where the gates are or anything else like that. So we're just kind of like bumbling around. And I know for a fact that we had a whole entire 45 to an hour, not quite an hour, but about 45 minutes just transversing from one to the other to one to the other. So finally, we stumbled on this gate agent for Lufthansa, and it was a hole in the wall place. You couldn't even really see it too much because if you would have walked a little bit faster, you would have missed the thing. So we actually talked to somebody, and they said, okay, this is exactly what you need to do. So we got our boarding passes for a 4 o'clock flight. So once we got to the 4 o'clock flight place, it was all right because they were almost 3/4 of the way boarded up on this deal. So we just basically got in the board line and we just basically processed through there, got to London. Well, with all this freaking change in planes and stuff like that, we knew, well, I kind of had a suspicion in my head that the luggage was not going to make it to London properly at our particular time and juncture that we were supposed to be there. And it didn't. But the thing is, we actually had uh, our luggage tag, so we went to the luggage claim office there to had the at Heathrow Airport, and when we got there, they actually scanned our deal. It said, "Yeah, okay, your stuff will be on the next flight." I'm like, "Okay, that's cool." When's the next flight? Well, it's not going to be here till about another hour and a half, and by that time, we were kind of like, me and my brother, we were kind of like done with being in airports and running around here and there. We just like, no, we just want to get to our hotel, chill for a little bit, and actually do some sightseeing, try to get something salvaged of a day that we were actually supposed to be almost a full 6 or 7 or 8, even 8, 9 hours, you know, actually in London. Every minute that we're actually in these airports, this takes more time away from that. So we decided we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and go to the hotel room with just our carry-on. So when we got to the hotel, everything started working a lot better. They checked us in pretty fast. We went back to the airport to get on the get an Oyster card and get our train situation taken care of into London, downtown, so we can actually do some stuff that night at least, for about 3 or 4 hours. And we did. So we decided on the way back that we were actually going to go ahead and take care of our luggage deal at the airport. Well, when we're at the airport, we exited the luggage area, which is a high security area. It's one of them weird deals where the baggage claim is still in high security. So when you exit it, you're done. There's no freaking way back into it. In fact, there's not even any signage at all that actually tells you exactly how to get to the baggage claim area because it's in high security, so they don't want you actually being in there once you clear high security. So anyway, me and my brother are trying to find the baggage claim when we got back to the airport, from being, in downtown London for 3 or 4 hours. And we sat there for almost 25, 30 minutes trying to figure out where the hell this deal is. We were in the right place, but it was high security and we could not go back through the doors again, and they did not have anything labeled. So we decided I was just going to go, okay. I knew exactly what time that the baggage claim office is going to open up. They're going to open up at about 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll get there a little bit early and we'll go ahead and get our baggage taken care of then. So I go and we get to the hotel and I get about 3 or 4 hours sleep, and I get up and I had no idea where to go for this deal yet. So I walked all the way up to the departure gates, So I went up to the Lufthansa, took a shot at the Godark, and I said, I need to actually speak to a manager for Lufthansa. And she goes, well, I'm that person. I go, okay. So I told her my situation and everything, and she was all nice about it. She looked everything up. She goes, okay, give me a second here. I'm going to call some people. We'll figure this out for you. I go, okay. I mean, everybody, the whole entire time, were really, really nice about this situation. I mean, it was just a weird situation. I just, I never had anything like this. I was just, so anyway, she says, okay, well, we could do this. This is how we're going to do it. I'm going to have you have your passport, right? You still have your luggage claim tickets. You still have your boarding pass. I said, I got all 3 of them. So, okay, she goes, that's good. So she says, I'm going to take you via, not so much where people are supposed to go. I'm going to take you where the employees actually go. So we actually had to go through high security for the employees. And it took us about 5 minutes to do this. It's a little bit more daunting for high security for the employees at an airport than it is because you have to write logs and you have to actually present badges and this and everything else. So we did that, and all of a sudden we started walking around all this back bulwark of Heathrow. And finally, we got about 2 minutes later, we finally got into where these baggage claim stuff was. So we walked through the door, and of course, on that cart, with the carousel right there on that carousel, one of them, there it was. So we walked up to the officer that was working there and told him about it. He says, well, if it's on the if you actually have the luggage claim tickets and you're with the lady from Lufthansa, I'll just let you go ahead and just take them. I haven't processed them yet for reporting them yet, because that's just one of the things that I was going to do whenever we opened up, and I'm not opened up until another hour and a half. So I walked over with the lady and matched up all our luggage IDs and stuff like that. And finally, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, I'm walking into my hotel room with all my luggage and everything. And of course, I get everything all put away. And that kind of puts to bed that whole entire episode. So we started this thing at about, I'm going to think about 5 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, and at 4:50, 9:50, right around there. On a Friday morning, I finally have everything all resolved with my luggage and everything else that. So, needless to say, a lot of my videos that I wanted to shoot on my trip kind of got put off into the trash bin because I lost a whole entire day of shooting video that I wanted to do, and some other things. So I kind of had to just stick to photograph stuff. So I didn't get very much stuff with my London trip on video, but I do have a lot of photographic stuff. So it was, all in all, it was a great trip. I mean, we went to saw a concert there that day, and I mean that for that trip. So everything worked out all right. So I just wanted to share that tale with you. So I'm gonna actually put a description in my walkthrough deal for the KCI to actually go to this deal to explain what happened. So I thank you for watching. Bye bye.